Hey everyone, this is Sean with Sport Optics. We're here in our facility. We have Hamilton with Leica.
Thanks for having me. I'm so glad to be here.
And we're going to be going over some new product offerings this year.
Yeah, so we've got product offerings in our Amplus Riflescope line. We've got a new reticle. We've got two new compact rangefinders, our CRF-R, CRF Pro. And then we also have, in addition to our Geovid line, this is our Geovid Pro AB Plus. It has a feature that is not available on any rangefinder in the market, so I'm really excited to be able to talk about that.
All right, nice. Well, let's start off with what you're most excited about, I guess.
So most excited about would be the Geovid Pro AB Plus. The feature that I teased a second ago, we call shot probability analysis, or SPA, and what it does, in addition to what we've always been able to do with our ballistic rangefinders, where we can range the target, we can measure the atmospheric conditions, we can measure the angle of incline to the target, and we can account for those conditional factors in a ballistic output in MOA or mils or equivalent horizontal range, which is our word for angle compensated distance. Now we have the capability of actually predicting how likely you are to make a first round hit in the vitals on your target, based on a couple of factors. One, what type of target is it? Is it an IPSC silhouette? Is it a round or rectangular plate? Is it an elk, a whitetail, or a coyote, or a groundhog-sized animal? And then the vitals for those animals. So you build a profile that is not just the ballistics of your rifle, but it is a profile that includes how big your target is and what its vitals are like. Then also, how good is your system as far as how accurate are you at ranging, how accurate are you at guessing wind or judging wind, and then also how accurate is your rifle system with you behind it. A lot of people out there have half MOA rifles or quarter MOA rifles. Not so many of them are consistently 10 shots out of 10 shots half MOA shooters. And so, just like with anything else in the computer world, junk in, junk out, gold in, gold out. The better information you put into the profile, the better information the unit's going to give you. But it will boil down to this. Previously, our Geovid Pros you'd range a target and you'd say, okay, there's a plate at 800 yards. Your elevation correction's 18 MOA, your wind correction's 2.5 minutes right. Now it's going to give you a fourth factor, which is, by the way, you are 80% likely to make a first round hit, or maybe you're 19% likely to make a first round hit. And that's all based on the conditions and your accuracy levels that you've input to the profile.
Wow, that's incredible. I've never heard of something that gives you a percentage of you're likely to hit the target or not.
Yeah, that's a feature that Applied Ballistics has offered. They call it the WEZ, the Weapon Employment Zone, that is on their desktop ballistic solver, but it's never been seen in the field anywhere before. So we're the first company to bring this into the field for a hunter or a competitor's use.
Wow, this is going to be a huge product for sure. I know it's going to be extremely popular.
Thank you. What's really cool about it too is that if you look at the price of a regular Pro, which is an incredible value at the $33.99 on the market, with the $200 extra that you pay for this product at $35.99, you're getting the $150 upgrade that you'd have to pay for in a regular Pro that takes you from Applied Ballistics Ultralight that the product ships with to Applied Ballistics Elite that you can get if you say need to range targets past 875 yards. Elite will allow you to range targets as far as the rangefinder can range, and it's going to include things like spin drift, aerodynamic jump, Coriolis effect, that sort of thing. So that comes included in the $200 price difference between this and a regular Pro. The Weapon Employment Zone, the SPA, shot probability analysis, will come with that. And then this also exclusive flat dark earth color that we've never done before. So for a $200 price point difference, you're getting a lot of features in this new product.
Nice, nice. Is flat dark earth the main color it's coming in, or is it coming black or anything else?
It's the only color for the Geovid Pro AB Plus, and 10x42 is the only size for the Pro AB Plus.
Nice. 10x42 is definitely the most popular for sure.
Yep.
And as we know, looking cool is half the battle, and that's a great looking color for sure.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, appreciate that.
All right, super excited about that. What else we got?
So the next thing I'd like to talk about is our additions, or I should say upgrades to our CRF line. So in general, first we'll talk about both products and what's similar about them. The CRF-R and the CRF Pro Before, we were known for having a number in our nomenclature for our CRFs. You know, if it was a CRF 2400R or a CRF 2800.com, we've kind of gotten rid of that because of the sort of the nuclear arms race of what people are claiming for their ranging capabilities, and also by not having that number in there, you'll hopefully know that you're getting something that's different. The CRF-R and the Pro, they have first off a new chassis. We've upgraded our platform and our optics. The main benefit is going to be that, so the old CRFs, they were the best optics in a compact rangefinder shirt pocket model on the market for years, undisputed. We've actually beaten them ourselves. So we've increased the contrast and the stray light suppression in this new unit. So what was the best before is now the second best, and we've got basically the two top optical designs in a compact rangefinder. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that they're the same 7x24 optical system as far as power and objective lens size before, so that's familiar. They are still using a CR2 lithium camera battery. They're going to give you approximately 2,000 measurements on one battery, unless you've got the Bluetooth turned on in the Pro. The R follows the naming system we've had before, where if it's an R, it gives you simple angle incline compensation. So it's a 2,000 yard rangefinder, and that's a conservative rating. It's gonna, as long as your conditions are reasonable and your target's reasonable, it's actually, it's rated to range 2,000 yards, but it's going to range beyond 2,000 yards. So we try to under-promise and over-deliver it, like when we give a capability. So anyway, elk at 2,000 yards. If you're steady enough, if you're doing your job, and the atmospheric conditions are right, that's, you know, that rangefinder is going to range out beyond 2,000 yards, and it's going to give you simple angle incline compensation from 10 yards to 1,200 yards. Okay, so from 10 yards to 100 yards, it's going to calculate the angle one way, and it's going to be better for archers. And then from 100 yards to 1,200 yards, it uses a different algorithm, and it's going to calculate the effects of angle a little bit different. That's going to be better for rifle shooters. There's no atmospherics or anything included in that. It's just the distance and the effective angle, on the target. So what's really killer about this product is the new price point, $399. For years, we've been at $599 for our least expensive rangefinder. So we're really hopeful that that $399 is going to get a lot of people's attention.
Oh, I know it will already. I sell these things, of course, and Leica is the only option where you can get a handheld rangefinder with European glass. Mm-hmm. So it's a no-brainer that anyone who's looking at something around that price point, this is going to be the one they're going to want to go with for sure. Thank you.
I appreciate that. We really work hard to put as much quality as we can in a product, and we design first and then price later. We don't build for a price point. We build for the best quality we can, and then we figure out how we can sell it and still stay in business. So we hope that shows in this product. It also will be evident in the CRF Pro, same optical system, same chassis. In this case, you've got a laser rangefinder that'll range to 2,800 yards, but then you have all the features of the Geovid Pro as far as ballistics. So it's programmable from a phone. It comes out of the box with applied ballistics ultralight to give you elevation and wind corrections to 875 yards. It's upgradable to applied ballistics elite that'll give you elevation and wind corrections as far as the rangefinder can range, so over 1.5 miles. It is, when you do the upgrade, you'll have access to things like the Applied Ballistics Custom Curves library, where you can get their Doppler radar chronographed bullet profiles. You'll be able to have spin drift, aerodynamic jump, Coriolis effect, those things I talked about earlier, that come standard in the Pro AB Plus Geovid. It's a really neat system for $799 to get all that, the optical quality, the ranging reliability, and the ballistics capability built in. And a lot of people, I'll touch on this, a lot of people ask, well, why didn't you have Applied Ballistics Elite built in on the product? Well, there are a lot of people out there that they need ballistics corrections to 600, 700, 800 yards, but they don't need corrections to 2,000 or 2,500 yards. It's such a smaller portion of the marketplace. And we thought, why charge people for something they're not going to use? If somebody is going to need that, and this has been my experience, they're more than happy to pay the upgrade. So
great point.
We try to keep the price point down and not charge people for something they're not going to use.
Yeah, certainly so. All right, awesome. Y'all got some new reticles for us in these Amplus 6s now, huh?
We do. So this Amplus 6 3 to 18 by 44 is actually our most popular SKU of Riflescope in history of the company. I think we've actually sold maybe more of this this body, this 3 to 18 by 44 style, than we've sold of all of our other Riflescopes combined.
Wow.
It's really hit the market strong. A couple of the features that make it so well received. It's under 12.5 inches long. It's 23 ounces. It's a 6x zoom ratio with illuminated reticle 30mm tube at a under $1,500 price point for a scope that has 130 MOA of elevation adjustment. Again, in a 30mm tube.
Yeah.
It really, with the durability and the optical quality that it offers, there's nothing on the market that'll touch it for about, you're looking at $500 more to get a scope that's in competition with this scope, let alone a scope that's going to outperform it. So this scope offers a whole lot of value. Originally, we had one ballistic reticle, our original ballistic sort of Christmas tree shaped reticle that had single MOA hash marks. And some people said it was a bit heavy and a bit busy. So we came back this past year with what we call our L4W, which is a German number 4 with MOA wind holds on the horizontal line. That was a nice boost to the line, and people said, we really want another option too. And so we took that sort of a T-shaped concept, and now we have our ballistic 2 reticle. None of the other reticles are going away. What we're doing is we're going to offer 3 reticles in this scope, so there's something for everybody. And so you'll have all the features, all the bells and whistles with the Christmas tree ballistic 1. You'll have the minimalist sort of experience with the L4W, where it's going to occlude as little as possible of your overall field of view. Or then if you want a sort of a best of both worlds with the ballistic 2, you'll have holds on the vertical for your elevation, and you'll have holds on the horizontal for your wind, but you won't have anything out in space that's occluding your field of view downrange. So 3 really nice reticles in what is considered, at least by a lot of our customers, to be the best value on the market. You've got now basically a reticle to suit just about anybody's needs.
Nice, awesome. Yeah, you can do anything with a 3 to 18 scope, and with a 44mm objective lens, you can get that scope nice and low, which is what everyone wants. Yep. So awesome, knock out of the park for sure.
While I'll touch on it real quick, another feature of the scope that's really great is due to its short length and its good eye relief and low power of 3 power, it really works well with a thermal. A lot of people are using LPVOs, but because this scope is so short, with some of the new clip-ons that are coming out, some new clip-ons that we're going to be having coming out, with their higher resolution, their greater thermal capability, this 3 to 18, you can't use it at 18 power, but you can use it at higher powers, and because it's so short, it makes it easier to reach out to the front of the clip-on to get to your focus adjustment. So that's another feature of this scope that makes it really attractive.
So I love how you mentioned that the overall length of the scope is being so short that you could just throw a thermal on there easily and not have to reach super far forward. That's not something that a lot of shooters think about. So that's a really nice feature of this scope, and the overall length being so short for sure.
Yeah, thanks. To have that much capability in such a compact package is something we think is pretty darn unique.
Yeah, and what a lot of shooters don't know is you really don't want to crank the magnification up super high when you're using thermal, because of course you're just zooming into pixels at that point. Right. So, yeah. Excellent option right there. Nice compact, small objective lens, overall length is nice and short. A really excellent option for sure.
Thank you, appreciate that. And to mention while we're here, the price point, the original ballistic reticle, that scope, the model number is 50211. Price point on that is $13.99. The L4W reticle and the ballistic 2 reticle, they're $14.99.
Okay.
So still an incredible value for what they offer.
Yeah.
But also this design has a zero stop turret with toolless adjustable zero, and the adjustable zero stop with an Allen wrench is pretty simple to set up. But if you've got a base that gives you a lot of incline, you're going to be able to get a long ways. I've actually taken that scope to a mile with a 6.5 Creedmoor. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I mean, with 130 minutes of angle of total elevation, it's easily doable. I mean, you could throw that on anything and shoot it as far as you possibly can before you go subsonic and bullet starts getting wonky and whatnot. So right. Yeah, awesome.
And not to get too into the weeds optically here, but what a lot of people don't realize is everybody that's shooting long range, you'll see people using they'll buy a lot of high power rifle scopes. But if you've got optical quality, if you've got sharpness, contrast, color rendition, and ability to resolve detail, you don't need that much magnification to shoot far. My rule is a minimum, you need 1x of magnification per 100 yards. Think about it this way, snipers have been shooting people at 1,000 yards with 10x rifle scopes for a long time. You can take an 18 power rifle scope and you can very effectively shoot at 1,500 yards or more.
Certainly so, yeah. I have well, I don't have it anymore, but I had a 4-20 scope on one of my rifles, and I was at a range at about 800 to 900 yards, and I was like, let me just crank it down to 4 and see if I can do it. And sure enough, I was doing it. But I mean, it wasn't ideal, but 10 power is, you know, plenty for something like that, for sure.
Absolutely.
All right, so we got the Calonox.
Yeah, so Calonox 2 is something that is not out yet. We're going to be releasing that, it looks like January 2025. But it is basically an improvement in every way of our really sort of groundbreaking Calonox sight clip-on from a couple of years ago. The price point hadn't gone up much. You're looking at about $4,400 for a thermal that has the thermal performance of our View, which was our handheld. We've got a 12 micron pixel pitch. We've got a detection range on a fox or coyote sized heat source of 3,000 meters. And that's not, we're not saying you're going to know what it is, obviously, but you can detect that there's a heat source out there. And it's been tested in the field in Germany by our testers as being able to do that. Recognition distance is going to be somewhere around 750 meters, and identification distance is going to be about 350, 375. It will have an optional laser rangefinder built into it for $900 more.
Oh, nice.
So 1,000-yard laser rangefinder at the $5,300 price point. No laser rangefinder at the $4,400 price point. But what's really cool about this new system is that the sensor and the display are so precisely aligned and so solidly connected to each other in the way they're mounted that zeroing is not required with this product. You don't. You can just slap it on and shoot. If for some reason there is an alignment issue, we do have an alignment correction capability for up, down, left, right, but it is not expected to be needed. You're going to have an expectation of return to zero of within, I think the minimum is 2 centimeters at 100 meters point of impact shift. We've typically seen less than 1 centimeter at 100 meters point of impact shift. The new model, I'll back up. The old model was attachable via an adapter that threaded onto the eyepiece only, that went straight onto the objective lens of the scope. That's still an option, but now on the underside we've got new mounting plates built into it, where you can now do a pick rail mount as well. So you can mount on the front of your scope on an AR or whatever rifle you've got. If you've got rail length, you can mount it to the rail rather than having to clamp it onto your scope, so you don't induce any flex. We were seeing some lesser quality scopes in the market with that much weight hung on the end of them can break under recoil. So we've got a different option for mounting there. There's going to be some accessories for it as well. You've got a remote control that you can strap to your forend, so you don't have to reach all the way out for getting into the menus. You've got I think it's 6 different palettes for thermal detection. You've got obviously the white hot, the black hot, the red hot. You've also got a red outline, and you've got a green color palette as well, plus the sort of rainbow color palette. So a couple other things that make the Calonox 2 unique, or actually any of our Calonoxes, but the Calonox 2 especially, is first of all, the product's made in Germany. There's no Chinese parts in it whatsoever. And secondly, when people are looking at thermal or anything else in our industry, it seems like people shop the specs. They shop the numbers. Well, one thing that's not really evident from the specs or the numbers is, and a lot of people on the hunting side don't really know this, but Leica's a camera company. We invented the 35mm camera. We make the finest cameras and camera lenses in the world today. And digital cameras is something we've been doing for a long time. And a thermal product is a digital camera. And so we have something we call LIO, L-I-O, Leica Image Optimization, which is just a term for our know-how, our smarts in how to take. If you give it, basically it's like an artisan. You give him average tools and you're still going to have an artisan's piece of work come out of it. And if you take somebody who is good but not an artisan level and you give them the best tools, they're going to be limited by their capability. Leica's capability of taking signal, taking data, and turning it into an image from our experience with our digital cameras is really unsurpassed in the industry. So we can take the same ingredients. I'll use a fried chicken analogy here. You take a great cook that's got the same chicken, the same flour, the same salt, you're gonna get better fried chicken from somebody who's a really good cook than you will from somebody who is just an average cook. And Leica image maximization is our, I mean, that's who we are, that's what we've done for literally, we're in our 175th year now as a company, building lenses, building products that maximize image quality. So yeah, 1849 to 2024, 175th year. We've been doing it for a long time.
Wow.
So what we can do with a piece of thermal gear is pretty incredible. One of the best warranties in the industry. So that product and all of our thermals, and I'll back it up, and I'm going to talk about the Leica's warranty. That we started a new warranty system in January 1 of 2021. Anything sold through an authorized dealer in North America. So that is an important thing for when people are buying. You don't want to go on the internet and buy from these guys that are given these super discounted prices. You know, an authorized North American dealer like you guys are, your customers get the best warranty in the industry. Anybody that's getting something that's gray marketed in from Europe, they're not going to get this if they're buying through a non-authorized dealer from some internet bobs. All Leica Sport Optics get a 10-year protection plan that covers theft, everything but theft, fire, intentional damage or loss. So it basically, if you send us parts and they're not smoky or melted, doesn't matter if it got run over with a car or dropped off a cliff, whatever. Anything that was bought from a new authorized dealer, from an authorized dealer since that time is going to be covered for 10 years. So reticles, illuminated reticles, laser rangefinders, anything, even our thermals, they have a 10-year warranty against accidental death and dismemberment, is what I call it. You know, it's like an insurance policy.
Yeah.
The only exception to that is the batteries, the built-in batteries on the thermals. Our warranty on those is 5 years, and our projected cost to replace a battery is about $120, $130. So we really try to take care of the customers on these. I think the industry standard on a thermal warranty is about 3 years. So
yeah.
and that's not for accidental damage. That's usually just manufacturer's defects. So we really, when you buy a Leica, we build. Our intent is to be the toughest product in the industry in our category, and we try to back that up. So that's the warranty. Everything gets that warranty. Anything that's not an electronic product or an electronic aspect of a product, the thermals aren't covered by the second level because they're completely electronic. But our rifle scopes, our binoculars, our laser rangefinders, the optics and mechanics on those products are covered for 30 years with a manufacturer's defects warranty. So if a lens starts to delaminate or a focus system goes wonky and it's not due to an impact or something like that, if it's something that was a flaw in the way we built the product, we're going to cover that with a repair replacement for 30 years from the time of purchase as well. So.
Yeah, that's excellent. A very awesome warranty for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, glad to hear that. So I think that just about covers everything, huh?
That's really the lineup for what's new. I will hint that we have some colors coming as well, actually.
Nice.
So our Geovid Pro line, we actually have now in our 32 millimeter range. The 8x32s and 10x32s are available in a sort of a hunter green color. Nice. And then the 42s, 8x42s and 10x42s are going to be available. August 7th will be the release, October 7th, I'm sorry, will be the release date for an orange version of the 42 millimeter binoculars, which frankly I love. I think a hard to find color on a $3,500 piece of gear is not really, that's not my idea of a good time.
Yeah,
I want to be able to spot it in the grass from 50 yards away.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, we've got orange coming out in the 42 millimeter Geovids as well. So
perfect.
Those are the other things on the near horizon.
All right, Hamilton. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. We always appreciate it. Always a good time. And everyone, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below what your favorite product was and what you're most excited about. And give us a call. I'm always happy to talk to you. And I can recommend some products that you might like that you might not know about. So I'll see you next time. Thank you so much.